Hi there everyone, it's Ingrid here from CameraShy and Beginners Photography blog, and welcome to the first of my new camera Q&A session. This is a new feature in the blog that I decided to do since I've been so bad at writing blog posts lately, and I really wanted to still keep answering your questions that I'm still getting emails all the time. So I thought, what a better way to do this than to do a new little regular feature on the blog called CameraShy Q&A, and that way I can help lots of you with a lot of the same questions. So to kick things off today, we have an email that was sent in by Emily from Arizona. And Emily writes, I am 16 years old and I'm interested in photography as a career choice. I am at a very beginner level. I first got interested in photography about 2 years ago and bought a 35mm film camera because I thought it was best to start with an old camera. But after about 5 rolls of film with only about 3 pictures coming out that you could see, I got discouraged and I lost interest for a while. But now, about a month ago, I got inspired again. But I need a camera. I would prefer to buy a bigger, better, more expensive camera right away, but I am afraid that it would be too advanced for me, and I feel like I have the talent to take good pictures, but no idea at all how to use a nice camera. I also may have the opportunity this summer to display and sell some of my photos in a popular restaurant. Please help me find a good camera, and if you have any tips for an aspiring photographer, they would be appreciated. Well, Emily, I can honestly say I get asked this question more than anything else in all of my questions that I get asked. And even now when I'm not working in the store, I still get asked on a daily basis via email and students and whatnot. People who are making an investment, a considerable investment in a digital SLR, really are confused by the amount of choice that's out there. So I'm really going to make it very simple for you, Emily. You pretty much have two choices. You can choose between either a Nikon or a Canon. Now, Nikon and Canon are the two top brands in the camera manufacturers' camera world. And there are many other players, Sony and Panasonic, and you'll see Olympus and all these other brands. But honestly, you cannot go wrong with either a Canon or a Nikon. And for the level that you're at and where you want to go, I would suggest either the Canon T3i, which is their Rebel. It's not their very basic Rebel, it's one up. Or the brand new Nikon D3200. So either of these cameras are pretty much identical in terms of what they offer. Now, the Nikon has got a higher pixel count and it has all sorts of new features, and it's red, which I personally think is very cool, and I'd nearly be tempted to buy it just because of that. But whichever one you decide to go for, you're really kind of deciding which brand you're going to stay loyal to throughout your photography career. Now, of course, you can switch as time goes on, but as you get more and more invested in the technology, in using it, the menus, one thing and another, and really more than that, invest in financially into their lenses, you're going to be deciding to either go the Canon route or the Nikon route. So that is a choice, and it's a personal one, and perhaps you can ask some friends or any family members who may already be shooting with a digital SLR what they use, and sometimes that can affect your choice, because if you've got a best friend that uses Nikon and they've got a whole bunch of Nikon lenses, then it would be pretty cool to be able to borrow their lenses without having to purchase your own, at least until you get a feel for what you want. So that sometimes has a factor in what you decide. But you really honestly can't go wrong with either of those two, and those are the two models that I see most of as a teacher, especially here in Atlanta. The next thing that you have to decide is whether you'll just buy camera body only, or whether you'll decide to have the kit lens that usually comes with it, which is usually an 18 to 55mm lens, and sometimes you might get a twin lens kit which will also have a 55 to 250mm lens. So what's happening with those lens options is you're either getting something that will cover a wide angle to a little bit of a zoom, probably something like the equivalent of a 2x optical zoom, or something that is going to give you a bigger telephoto zoom lens such as the 250mm. That's going to give you a much more flexibility when you're shooting, so you'll be able to do more sports and things that are far away, nature shots, that type of stuff. Now, you have to decide whether those are things that you need, judging on the type of photography that you like to take. And many people will tell you that the kit lenses that come with your camera are not the best quality. And that is true. There's a lot better quality lenses that you can buy. But you're just starting out, you're doing a lot of practice shots, and really these kind of lenses are just okay to get you started. They're nothing, you know, it's not going to be the biggest, worstest thing that's ever happened to your photography if you shoot a good picture using a kit lens. There are certain things certain lenses that I do recommend to all of my students, and the main one of those is a 50mm f1.8 lens. I just so happen to have one here, and you'll see another video of mine called Do I Need a Nifty 50? And this is the Nifty 50. And this lens is so awesome because it's a great portrait lens, which I know you love to do portraits, because it's a great focal length, allowing you to get nice and close, but it also really gives you a nice blurry background as well, which is because it has a very wide maximum aperture. So for an investment of about $100, in addition to, say, your basic kit lenses, this is going to be a good starting point for you. Now, you will learn as your photography increases or progresses. You maybe like to do a lot of macro work, or you like to do a lot of sports photography, or whatever it is that you choose to do. Then you can decide to add those lenses into your kit at some point. And by selling and displaying your work in a local restaurant, which I think is a brilliant idea and a very good tip for anybody else that's thinking of starting to get into photography seriously, you'll start to earn a little bit of money from your profession, and then you can put that money towards improving your kit. And once you have the camera body, your kit is solid, so you just keep adding lenses to it as you go on. And that's a camera that you'll probably have for a long time in the future. The final thing that I wanted to say to you is that you say in your email that you're nervous about using a big fancy camera, and most people who have big fancy cameras don't know how to use it, and most of them probably don't even take the time to learn how to use it. And it's good that you're even addressing this before you even have bought the camera, because the final thing that I want to say to you right now is that you really have to commit to learning how to use your camera, because right out of the box you'll be able to, you know, put on the lens and point the camera in the right direction and take some photos. But you will get to a point where you are restricted in the type of photography that you can do. You're feeling that the camera is just not giving you what you know it can do, because you're missing shots and the exposure isn't correct and it's not the feeling that you want to see in the picture. And all of these things can only be achieved by getting out of the automatic mode. So you need to educate yourself, you need to read blogs, look at other photographers' works, read books, do some classes. Of course, you know, I have some online classes, one of which the Get Out of Auto course, getoutofauto.com, is available right now. It's the recordings of the last class that I did in January and February, and you can take part in that for only $99, which is I'll probably be putting the price of that up soon enough. But regardless of what you choose to do, just make a commitment to learn how to use it, and you are going to be well on your way. And I think that you are been very responsible and very mature about this whole thing. And if you can make photography into your job, then you'll never work a day in your life, as they say, because it is a great way to make some money. And if you're good at it, you can do that. So thank you so much for your question, Emily. It's been a pleasure. So if you would like to take part in CameraShy Q&A, please send me an email to ingrid@camerashy.info, and I will hopefully be talking to you next week. Thanks so much.